Love and Service, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. Real success, health, and happiness is derived from a real attitude of mind. The full significance of this statement does not reveal itself all at once because the mind is caught up with the things of the world and is lost in fear, in desire, and reaction to the external world, thereby losing sight of the unseen source of all things which are made. We must clearly see that right thinking is necessary for right action, to know that the universal mind and the individual mind are one. Herein lies the creative power of man, the source of will, imagination, visualization, and thought. To know this truth of our being enables us to perform every transaction according to the nature that will bring forth right conditions in life. Therefore, we can tell the result of any action that is based upon a true foundation. Happiness, success, and good health do not just happen. They are not accidents, they are the working of the natural law which all must discover to be able to cooperate. This law exists for mankind, for the happiness of all people, for perfect health, for an abundance of all our needs. It is natural for the universal mind to produce what we decree, but before we can successfully decree anything we must first know the truth about ourselves. We read in John 1:14, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. The Word was made flesh and dwelt amongst us." Now this Word is the divine nature in us. The Christ, that inner realm from which all real things must come forth. Man is made in the image and likeness of God, and that image must contain the divine essence of God himself. Therefore we know we have the attributes of the divine nature, and it is for us to bring these forth from the inner realm, so that this divine nature can become our human nature. If we realize, as we must, that nothing happens without definite cause, then we shall be able to formulate our plans in accordance with the exact knowledge. We can control any situation by bringing our true nature into play, and when we accomplish we shall know how exactly we did accomplish. Desire is an attractive force and fear is the enemy. Both are active in the mind that is not matured through real knowledge and understanding. When we realize that love and service are the two pillars of the temple of real success, health, and happiness, we will not give service only when we want something in return as the ignorant person does, but with our new understanding which leads us into pure action, we will serve continually with integrity and justice. The person that is not fair in his intention is simply ignorant of the fundamental law of the science of living. He may think he is winning, but he is doomed to disappointment. You cannot cheat the infinite. The law of compensation is always in operation, and this is what the majority are unaware of. Some try to corner the infinite for their own benefit, but this often carries an individual responsibility, more than the individual is able to bear, because of the ignorant misapplication of the law. If you look into your minds, you will see that your prayers have been mostly for your own benefit. Yet your faith was ever strong enough to overcome the fear you had in your mind before and after your prayer, because of the fact that you lived in the outer or material plane and looked away from the presence within yourself for your aid. Paul says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But even this is inadequate unless we become aware of the presence within, which alone gives us the right to that perfect happiness which is promised to all mankind when we listen to that silent voice that always guides aright. For if we ignorantly react to conditions in the outer, which are but the effects of previous causes, we establish the errors we are ignorantly unaware of, with the result that we defeat our own purpose. Paul again says that things seen are not made of things visible but of things unseen. But this again is inadequate when we are not acquainted with the creative law and its operation. The forces of life are responsive to our deepest thoughts, whether they be in fear or in faith, they are turned into form. All depends upon the attitude of mind you have. Generous thoughts are filled with strength and vitality, while selfish thoughts contain the germ of dissolution. If we recognize the presence as the source of all things and adjust our consciousness to this presence, then through our united consciousness in the presence will flow the supply, not only to fulfill our own needs, but we should seek also to fulfill the needs of others. Real success, health, and happiness will come as we begin to help others. It is because the ordinary man has no definite knowledge of this law that he becomes a slave to his fears, emotions, and reactions. If he fails as a businessman, he says luck is against him. If he lacks friends, he excuses himself by saying he is too fine in nature to be appreciated. When he becomes ill, he blames everything and every person but himself. He seeks to console himself with explanations and excuses which only make things worse. Our happiness and misery are of our own making. If our knowledge is founded upon opinions of others, we are liable to build our lives upon the shifting sands. We must be able to separate truth from error through the wisdom that is based upon true facts. We must not spend our time in mere affirmations of our oneness with God. We must establish the divine presence through our action. We must translate the divine nature into our daily living, by relieving the sick of their error, by adjusting the lives of those whose lives are barren and wasted into a profitable experience through the truth of being. So long as we limit the presence within ourselves to the narrow boundaries of the conditions in which we are involved, we will never know the real truth of being. We must know ourselves to be united in the presence, the one and the only one out of which and by which all are created and in which we live and move and have our being. In Romans 8:38-39, it says, "I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate me from the love of God which is in Jesus Christ our Lord." Paul saw clearly that this love which was in Jesus was God's love for all mankind. "Son, thou art always with me, and what is mine is thine." We must realize that the transcendent forces of the spirit of the cosmos, the presence, is within each one of us, and we will know that there is no privileged few. We are all progressively moving forward towards the inner realms of the universe, of which the outer is but a school for experience in which God is no respecter of persons. All human beings, no matter what station or position they hold, will eventually come to realize that love and service is the law of the cosmos underlying all creation, which includes man, and that there is no separation between one and another, and that the apparent separation in the mind of man is but an illusion which must be dissolved away through love and understanding. In this way only shall we find that real state of mind which leads to that freedom which gives us that real happiness we so much desire. The blessing of the angel of light is upon your work of the sanctuary of the silent healing power. Benediction. The fortunate that care not for the unfortunate cannot feel thy omnipresence. Those blinded by selfishness cannot see thy abiding presence in others. The unfeeling rich are poor in heart, their comforts are but pangs of ignorance. Blessed are those who serve others knowing that they serve thee. To die rich without giving service is to die poor. To pass through the portals of death serving others is to be truly rich. I know that health and sickness, life and death, are but dreams, and when I finish my work of love and service and awake behind the world-painted screen of illusion, I shall behold thee as the abiding presence in all, and I shall hear thy voice saying sweetly in my heart, "As much as you have done unto one of these, so have you done unto me." 𝗦 MacDonald-Bayne.